Hey neighbors, good morning. Tom Zapolsky. I'm serving as your board president, and I wanted to provide you with a quick update here on this March 6th. It's been a little bit, so let me bring you up to speed on a few things and a couple reminders. First of all, I wanted to remind all of our owners that we do have the new online registration system. So when you have guests coming into the resort to stay at your place, there's a really convenient online form there for you. If you haven't checked this out, we made a tutorial video that we emailed to all the owners, I think back in January, maybe early February. So if you search your email from Venture Out, you'll probably find that link. If you can't find it, email the front office or reach out and we're glad to send it to you. I don't think you need the tutorial, it's pretty easy to use, but if you'd like to see it before you need it, that's a great way. As an aside for all of us, owners have been using it for many weeks and months and it's working really, really well. There's an important reminder, however, and that is if you register a guest within 48 hours of their arrival, we need you to also call the office and let us know. There's a little note that reminds you of that afterwards, but here's why. They're working in advance to make sure that packets are ready for your family and friends or renters whenever they show up. And because we work in advance, if one comes in within that 48-hour window, we want to pull their name out, make sure the packet's set aside, and if, say, the box of materials has already made it to the front gate, then we need to make a note that we need to walk that one up there and make sure that your person's taken care of. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. The second reminder I'd like to give you real quick is, parking remains a tough situation in Venture Out. Nothing new for us. We don't have enough overflow parking. We're now compelled to make sure that our streets really remain open for emergency vehicles. So having extra cars on the street and congestion complicates things. If you could do your part and make sure that your owners your guests, renters, tenants, etc., understand what the parking situation is at your unit, but also in our community, it would go a long way for all of us. All right. If people bring two Suburbans down or three, they immediately have a problem. So they're coming to enjoy your unit and have an issue as soon as they arrive. So I always make sure I communicate to my guests that I have two available parking spots at my site. There are some conditions surrounding parking on the street, and there is very little or no overflow parking if it's a very busy period of time. There's a place down Thomas Drive, and I try to help them out to the best of my ability. But the main thing I want to do is make sure they know that when they come into Venture Out, it's going to be an awesome time. But parking's tight and limited and all the things. So if you could please communicate that to your owners, it would be a huge help. Now, with regard to that emergency vehicle access lane, and this has been called the painted lines and all the things over the past several months, I believe that the board is reaching a period in which they're ready to make a decision and vote on refining some of our rules. I don't know this. I'm trying to read the tea leaves and kind of see where we all are. But here's what my appeal to you would be. I'm not going to get into where this is going. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we're banning parking on the roads. And so I find that to be positive for us all. That was a real reality and a real proposal not long ago. But what that means is it's incumbent upon us, even if we find it a little frustrating or a little annoying, to do our part. If we dig on our heels and say, I'm not participating, and fold our arms and just get upset at the process, then we are essentially contributing to the problem, right? So if we can let our guests know about the parking situation, how limited it is, and then also, as an owner, it's my responsibility, if someone's coming to my unit, to make sure they know our community's rules. I hope to have those in a position, any adjustments to the rules that are going to be made, that the board can review them and that we can vote on that and distribute that to the owners very soon. I recognize it's spring break. I get it. And it is frustrating that sometimes things take a little bit of time in Venture Out. But I think we are getting it right. And I don't think it'll be perfect. But my appeal to you is that we work together as a community and do the best we can. Security is likely to screw something up. The front office might get something wrong. There are humans involved, right? There is interpretation. Well, I read this, you read that. We're trying to get rid of that kind of like confusion, but I can tell you, just recognizing the dynamics of our neighborhood, that there still could be some of that. I would also encourage us not to be frustrated with a tiny minority number of people who will try and skate the rules and juke and jive and get away with things. On a recent inventory in the community, I found that less than 0.4%, 735 units, and 0.4% of people were kind of playing around with the rules and pushing the edge, and in some cases just blatantly breaking them. So we'll try and pursue them, and we'll do what we can do on our side to enforce those rules. But I would encourage us not to obsess over that. That means that 99.6% of us care about the neighborhood, are doing our part, are playing along, and are trying to make it work. That's awesome. But it's easy to focus on the negative and not see all the incredible good. So I hope this finds you well. Let's look for that update to parking to come over the next maybe 2 weeks, if I'm guessing right here. We'll see how that goes, and get us ready for our truly busy season. I know spring break can be busy as it comes up. So hang in there with us. I assure you, none of us who ran for the board anticipated this kind of complicated situation. And our community is full of complicated situations because of the way we've grown over many decades. And so whenever you join the board and you sit in these seats, you might believe you're going to show up and I'm going to improve this or that, and then all of a sudden you're pulled off here to the side to solve an issue that's never been solved in all of our history. And I don't know that we're solving it right now, but I think we're doing better, and I think that's the direction we need to go. So thank you for your patience and your consideration. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime, the front office, etc. If you have ideas and observations, we'd love to hear about those too. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.